Now, Justice Brett Kavanaugh's house, where a man was arrested just outside his house 2 weeks ago in an attempted assassination attempt on the Associate Justice. That man has pled not guilty right now in federal court, although you do see right now some of the security outside of the Kavanaugh residence. Demonstrations for and against the landmark overturning of Roe v. Wade began as soon as the decision was announced this morning. Tonight, 2 Republican senators are working to make sure the Supreme Court building, the justices, remain safe from violence. Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee, and Senator Rob Portman of Ohio, ranking member on the Committee of Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs, have written today to the Departments of Justice and Homeland Security, saying that since the opinion was leaked, leftist extremist groups, primarily one known as Jane's Revenge, has promised a night of rage if Roe was overturned. Pro-abortion protesters have been gathering in front of justices' homes in the weeks leading up to today's decision. U.S. Marshals protect justices around the clock. Last week, President Biden signed a bill to increase security for justices and their families. That came after marshals at Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home in Maryland scared away 26-year-old Nicholas Roski, who showed up with a backpack that had a gun, knife, zip ties, among other paraphernalia, earlier this month. Roski walked away, called 911 on himself, telling the dispatchers he traveled from California to assassinate the justice because of the leaked opinion. In today's letter, the senators wanted to know 5 things from the DOJ and the DHS: what the departments are doing to readily deploy officers in the case of violence, the steps being taken to coordinate with Supreme Court police and Capitol Police, analysis that has been conducted to determine if the court can be secured, analysis that has been conducted to determine with the justices' homes and what can be done to secure them, and the steps the FBI and the Office of Intelligence and Analysis are taking to monitor pro-abortion groups who might become violent. With that, we bring in John Muffler, retired U.S. Marshal with decades of experience protecting the justices and other leaders, now runs a company that specializes in high-level security. John, appreciate you being with us. What, in terms of levels of protection right now for the justices, are we talking about that of Nancy Pelosi, the vice president? Certainly it's not presidential level security.
I think it's pretty close to it. I mean, prior to the leak a few weeks back, wasn't so much so. Now I would consider it at an extraordinary high level, as you saw from those images, where the grounds, the house is saturated with law enforcement personnel. That's to an extreme. So I would say right now it is certainly at the highest level it's ever been.
How long can you keep this up? It's one thing to secure, I'm thinking about, the president, the vice president's residences, places that are built for this. It's quite different to try and secure just a private home in suburban Maryland, isn't it?
That's 100% true. And it's a good point. Great point. These judges live in the community they serve, right? And so they're living in our neighborhoods. They're going home every day, and I'm not just talking about the 9 justices. I'm talking about every judge in the country, 30,000 plus judges. They have to go home. And it's very difficult to secure that environment because it is a neighborhood. You have residences next door. You have and also, kids getting on the school bus.
What are we thinking about their kids and their husband or wife and the on and on? At some point, you're starting to protect and have a pretty big footprint here, aren't you?
Yeah, you're pretty much owning that neighborhood. It's becoming, wow, I'm sure, a burden to everybody in that vicinity, not just the next door neighbors, but that entire footprint.
On the other hand, the neighbors are probably pretty happy you've got security there, considering who's been showing up in the protests. For so long in America, and obviously I'm going back now 20 or 30 years, I'm not going back to the 70s when left-wing terror groups really were the issue, but so much of law enforcement is focused on right-wing terror groups, on the militias, on some of the hate groups, some of the white pride groups and the like. And that's where law enforcement's really put all their efforts, both in intelligence and undercover work and infiltrating these groups. How blind is the FBI and the Marshal Service when it comes to these left-wing groups now?
Yeah, well, it has to be a predicated offense, number one. So to get ahead of it, there needs to be some kind of predicated offense, say some threat, some inappropriate communication, to be able to mitigate that issue, that threat issue, that potential threat issue. So that's number one. So they just can't go out and arbitrarily be scanning social media accounts, right, for Joe Blow or whomever it may be. There has to be a reason to investigate that language, that action. So it is difficult, but there are systems in place and there are platforms in place to be able to scan that negative language and sift through it to see what inappropriate communications are out there and what threats may be out there.
Yeah. Well, it certainly seems like there's a lot right now. John, thank you very much. Obviously, the DHS now has put out a warning about Jane's Revenge, so they're taking it seriously. Appreciate the insight. Thank you. Coming up,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.